Welcome to our last go moment of 2020. We have a very special Living the Mission story today. Our facilities manager has been with us for 15 years. This man knows the ins and outs of our building and our property and has taken care of it. But not only that, he has worked with every leader, every ministry, setting up, tearing down. He's driven buses, he's grilled chicken and hot dogs for our picnics. He has just served the ministry here. And he has this amazing compassion for people hearing the gospel, but also very supportive in making ministry happen at Christian Life Center. Now, you may be wondering what this lovely chain is around my neck. Well, this was a creation of our friend, and it was to help me not lose my keys. Yes, I lost them twice. But if you would like to purchase one, do it at your own risk because I have to go to a chiropractor every time I wear it. Anyway, let's give a warm welcome to Bruce Shrewsberry. Come on over here, Bruce.
Hi, Polly.
Hey, you. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Love you, man.
Love you too.
Yeah, we're not social distancing today, for sure. This guy has been here 15 years, serving in, supporting others in ministry, right?
Absolutely.
So we can do our thing. Tell them, when did you start to know that there was going to be a change in your ministry, or did you know that? And then how did that all kind of transpire? Because I know one thing about living the mission is timing can really be everything.
Absolutely.
So speak to that a little bit. Let them know kind of how this all began to come around for you.
So God started speaking to me about branches of Huntington, and starting a nonprofit organization. And in the beginning, I was a little hesitant and wasn't really sure that's where we should head, and that's really what God was talking to us about. Yeah. But he kept speaking to me about it. So I waited till we were actually heading to the farm one weekend, and I had shared so many different ideas with Andrea because my heart's been in the country for a long time. Over the years, you know, I've been married to 35 years.
Yeah.
And she said when we first got married, that don't think we're going to get married and you're going to drag me off into some country bumpkin state.
Surprise!
And
yeah, that's funny.
When we were on our way to the farm and I shared with what I felt God was laying on my heart as far as branches of Huntington was concerned, and her initial reaction was, I could see us doing that. I think for me, that was probably the defining moment that this was God's plan.
Yeah.
To have her get on board and ready to go. And she's as excited as I am. So that was definitely a defining moment.
Yeah. When did you realize, though, honestly, I'm sure it was before that, where God really began to stir up, is there something else you want me to do? When did you start making a connection?
Wow, Polly, we go way back with this because I've been involved with creation for so long and Jesus Ministries
for so long.
How long have you
been involved with Jesus Ministries?
I've been involved with Jesus Ministries for probably about 19 years and creation right in there as well.
I didn't realize it was that long. Longer than
seriously
a year.
Involved with JM as a board member. I'm on my third term, but I had a year off, so 8 years ago I started in the board member role.
Has it been that long? Wow.
And the Lord had actually spoke to us, well, I thought he had spoke to me at one point when they were considering bringing someone on staff there, but they weren't in a position financially to do that.
Yeah.
So that goes back probably 15 years ago that was talked about, and then it just never panned out. And then the Lord said, they're still not in a position financially to bring somebody on staff, but you could go as a missionary. And I really wasn't sure I was hearing him right. I was just like,
right.
missionary, I don't know, and
I never thought about it that way.
I didn't. I really never gave that angle of it at all.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was I always thought, missionary, one of the things, and I guess probably part of what we're doing now is I always wondered people get called to the mission field and then they spend 5 or 6 years raising their support. And I was like, well, if God's calling you to the mission field, go to the mission field.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of organizations require that, but we didn't get into that role because we started our own nonprofit. And I'd sought some counsel from several different individuals.
Yeah.
And we just decided this was best for us, was to start our own nonprofit.
Yeah.
And it's been a journey. We're still waiting for the federal approval, but all the paperwork is turned in and it should come soon. But it's been an interesting journey, that aspect of it.
Yeah, because there's a whole nother side to when you go into your own ministry. There really is a whole nother side to that.
Absolutely.
That would be different and unique for you. But tell me something. So most people might not know the passion you have for worship and music, and also you're a passionate soul winner. How did that, I've seen you here in the church many times just minister to people and share the gospel with people. Do you see that becoming more of a role?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. One of the things we want to do with the ministry is, and a lot of what we're doing is, our ministry is going to be a tool for JM to bring business to their property.
Yeah.
Jesus Ministries has 285 acres out there. That's absolutely beautiful, and no other way to say it, but it's God-ordained property.
Yeah.
You can feel the presence of God on the property. And so part of our ministry is to supply leadership to that organization and bring business into their organization.
Yeah.
And God's going to enable us to do that, because as I said, as us going out and starting our own nonprofit, people are actually coming alongside of us and supporting us. But I just didn't really know how that was all going to go about. Didn't know how to do the paperwork. It's been, just a journey. And when you're involved with the federal government, you know how that can be. But it's been just God's hand's been on it all the way, and it has nothing to do with Bruce. It has nothing to do with Andrea. It's all about what he's given us the ability to do.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, the biggest issue is the yes. Because you're one of these multi-talented kind of people. Like, you can do a lot of different stuff. By
God's grace.
Yeah, absolutely. He was just playing the piano before I came out here. I thought it was a recorded music. Honestly, he's a musician. He's a business guy. Well,
we should
I know.
put that out there a little far, probably, but okay.
No, well, what I was hearing you play,
all right.
like,
I like to.
I can show you what a musician isn't. Okay, on the piano, but anyway, you're a very multifaceted person. And what is the one thing, though, that you think you learned here in these 15 years? Because, there are times of seasons of serving. That's why timing is so important. What was the one thing that you felt like God was really beginning to hone in you in order for you to take that leap of faith and start your own ministry?
I think that one of the biggest things I learned at Christian Life Center, and I shared it with the staff this morning, is we had an opportunity for some people to pay tribute to me, which was awesome. It was just a great time this morning. And
it really was.
I think the biggest thing I learned is, as a facilities manager, you have to work with all the different ministries of the church.
Yeah.
And not all the time as perfect as we want everyone to think we are as a staff. But sometimes the children's ministry doesn't know what the youth are doing, and the youth doesn't know what Polly's ministry is doing.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
And, here you are as the facilities manager trying to just orchestrate it all, and you're paying more attention to the calendar than a lot of times gets paid in meetings.
Yeah.
And so I think just being able to juggle all the different ministries, and that's part of what we're going to do. We're going to go out and work with numerous groups of people. And I think just being able to pull everybody together for the common purpose of advancing the kingdom of Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Diversity is something you have to experience to understand. It's one thing to talk about it.
Yep.
It's another thing to actually have to do it. And I think ministries such as what you're going to require it. Like, if you can't be able to be flexible and recognize a moment where God's moving. I even noticed that in the church. Like, sometimes you just really have to pay attention to those moments, because they can be changing your course. And if you're not careful, you'll just keep doing what you know to do rather than listening to the Lord. So, wow. So tell us a little bit about what's happening right now. Like, are you in transition?
Right now, yes, we are in transition. We are, so we have a home out there that the Lord has actually been ahead of us on this journey, a long ways ahead of us.
Yeah.
He allowed us to bought a house with friends of ours. We bought a piece of property, and both of us have houses on there now. Rusty Gibson's the other owner with us on the property, and he has a house and we have a house. And it's literally at the front gates of the Agape Farm.
Wow.
The front gates they use for creation, our house is like right there.
Yeah.
And so God's been ahead of us on this. But we're in the transition part. We're getting some stuff done to the house in order to prepare for my mom coming with us. And just being that end of the puzzle ready, so that when we do go out there, mom's got a bathroom she can use, with a walk-in shower, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the transition part, definitely. We are in the process of raising support.
Yes.
Because we are going to be supported missionaries, you know.
Yeah.
So we have some people that have come alongside of us and are actually starting to help fund our journey.
Yeah.
And it's been an interesting experience, very humbling. I think a lot of you know I went through some stuff health-wise a couple years ago. And,
You sure
and came
did.
real close to going home.
You know, you've made me laugh almost the whole time I've been here. But that was a moment where those tears were flowing.
Yeah.
You had a really challenging portion of your life at that time.
And I think God walked us through that journey. I know the first night when I had the bleed out and they sent me to the hospital, and you know the ER doctor came out and told Andrea, you know, you need to call everybody and let them know he's not going to make it through tonight.
I remember.
And Andrea never bought into that.
Yeah.
She never once did that woman think that I was going to pass away.
Yeah.
And I can remember when they got me stabilized enough in the ER, and I found this out later, where they basically were letting everybody come in to say goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
And they walked through the door and started praying over me. I walked through that journey not for the health reasons, but because God was preparing me for this.
Yeah.
Because it brought me to the point in my life where I was humbled enough to realize that I can't always do it on my own. And those of you who know me know I'm a go-getter. I like to go do stuff.
Absolutely.
And I like to be a
decision maker.
I like to be in control. I'm
Yep.
a very high A personality.
Yeah, you are.
But God used that time to really just humble my spirit and,
Yeah.
and to get me to the point where now, you know, you have people that are going to come alongside of you and support you financially.
Yeah.
That's not something I'm used to.
No, I know.
That's a
right?
change for me.
That's a big change.
And to be able to look somebody in the face and honestly have gratitude and say thank you and just know that, you know, they worked hard for what they're giving us.
Yeah.
I have to give it my all to make sure it goes where it needs to go
Yeah.
and does what it's intended to do.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a part of this journey, was even the health issues.
Well, you know, I've talked to a lot of leaders over these many months and just over a lifetime of, it feels like a lifetime, not a lifetime, but all these years in ministry. And I think the greatest ingredient to really moving forward is humility. Because how can you hear what God's saying if you're just working your own plans? I mean, it's a very fine line sometimes, you know, because God wants to use those giftings on the inside of us. But humility is really required for greatness, to do great things for the Lord, you know, to be the servant. And I'm so excited for you, Bruce.
We are really
it's pretty
excited.
a pretty cool moment. I think, you know, me personally, like I've seen this coming. I think all of us here would say we've seen this coming for you, because we would see you light up. This guy, he would be like lit up when you talked about Jesus Ministries and Creation Festival and buying your property. And it's like, I'm thinking of that scripture, a desire fulfilled, tree of life.
Yeah.
So we're very, very excited. We'll be praying for you. I know you'll keep in touch.
Absolutely.
And, you know, we love you here. Thanks for doing the
it's
last go moment of 2020. We get to send you off. And
the church has sent us off. The church is coming alongside and supporting us.
Absolutely.
And, you know, everybody else has that opportunity. And anybody that the Lord's laying it on your heart that you want to be involved in what we have going on,
thanks
we welcome your support. You can reach out to us. My phone number's not changing.
Okay, good.
The church is releasing the phone number that I've had here for 15 years to go along with us.
Yeah, good.
You can reach us at branchesofhuntington@gmail.com.
Yep.
And if you're interested in coming alongside of us and supporting us, just reach out and touch out to us. We'd love to have that.
Yep. And you can reach out to the church too. Everything will go to Bruce, and you know, we are just really excited to send him on his way and to hear the great stories. This is a storyteller guy, and he has so many wonderful testimonies. You could go on forever for the testimonies.
Yeah, God's been good.
God has been
We've
good.
shared a lot of testimonies together, probably.
We really
We have done a lot of stuff together.
I'm going to miss you.
Likewise.
Okay.
Likewise.
Hey, everybody, be sure to grab him in the next couple of weeks. He'll be around and in and out. Give him a big hug, a big shout, and we'll see you next year for our next go moment in 2021. God bless. Merry Christmas, and we sure love you here.
God bless everybody. Merry Christmas.